Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and hello if you're new here. I'm going to be reviewing Love Island episode 33, so let's get straight into it. So it starts off in the morning, the boys are just getting to know Adam, they're just going around and everything. And I found it quite funny when he said he was 26. I think some of them found it quite hard to believe, but think about it now, when he came on like 4 years ago, he didn't even look 22, so obviously it's always just going to be a shock from then on. Luca wasn't very happy about Billy speaking to Gemma, and he was like, oh, stop speaking to him or something like that. And she was like, what? Like, we didn't really see much after that conversation. We didn't really get to see her reaction after, but I think she was definitely put off by that. And I keep saying this, like, I think Luca really needs to like pack it in, because if he keeps on being this possessive, because he is possessive, and too, I don't even know if I'll call it protective, it's just possessiveness. And I think he does need to chill, otherwise I don't think this will work, because even if this is just in the villa and they're obviously going to be guys who are attracted to her, but on the outside as well, he's going to see scenarios where people are going to try and move to her. That's just what happens. And then like he needs to know how to like kind of contain it. But you know, we already know that Luca is a bit too much, but it is what it is. Paige says that she's open to getting to know Adam. She doesn't want to completely close herself off because she doesn't think it will be wise to do so, and I agree with that. I think it's only fair for her to get to know someone she wants to get to know, because you know, Jacques gave himself that opportunity before, and he would do the same thing if someone walked in who he was interested in. I'm sure he would not shot himself, and we saw that from Casa Amor as well. And also, I don't know if you guys noticed, when Tasha and Andrew went for a chat, Ian is so cheeky. He made a kind of like a side joke about the, you know, the whole Coco situation and the whole boob thing that, you know, Andrew did. And I just find his commentary funny sometimes when you actually pay attention to what he's saying. But Tasha and Andrew chat again. Honestly, I'm just so over Tasha and Andrew. Like, every time I see them together, I'm just like, oh no. And the maddest thing is, I don't dislike them. I just like them when they're not together. I remember when Tasha was getting to know Billy, I didn't mind watching Tasha. When Andrew and Cookie were together, found it a bit weird, but I was like, yeah, whatever. So it's when they're together that they're annoying. Individually, they're not that bad, but when they're together, they're just annoying, because I think it's just because people just find them kind of boring. I just find them a bit boring. Like, there's just not much to them. I don't really see their chemistry, just the whole thing. It just seems a bit, I don't know, it's just not very entertaining to watch, I guess. But good for them, since they, you know, have feelings for each other and whatnot. But yeah, they're just not my favorites. And then they're fine now. They kiss and make up and like everything's fine. And Paige and Billy, I feel like they formed quite a nice friendship. I didn't see when they had formed a friendship. They were like walking down together, and for a moment I was thinking, oh, they actually look cute together. I was like, let me just chill, can't just be shipping everyone in the villa. But yeah, Paige and Billy are quite good friends, and they were just chatting and just about each other's connections and whatnot. And then they were having a chat around the and also, yeah, Paige was asking Billy what's his game plan here, since Andrew and Tasha are obviously back together. So obviously Tasha and Billy are not gonna carry on. So he was like, oh, apart from you and Gemma. So obviously he was making a joke that he fancies Paige and Gemma. I don't think it's a joke, because I mean, even in Casa Amor, the girls he was trying to get to know was Paige and Tasha. So I think it's, you know, not hard to believe that he does fancy both of them. But yeah, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I think Billy likes Gemma. At first I thought it was just friends, like friendly banter, but I think that what the kind of friendship that they had, because obviously they know each other from home, and I think they must have like quite a flirty friendship or something, because the way he acts, like he defo seems like if Gemma was open, he'd be interested. I think it's just more than friendship, I'm not gonna lie. But anyways, they're all having a chat around the fire pit, and it was just a friendly, chill chat. I was so confused, guys. I don't know if anyone else was confused, but that chat escalated so fast. Like, Gemma made a comment. I was like, oh, he slagged you. Adam was slagging you off. And Jacques, at first, he was laughing when they were all talking, but the minute she said that, he literally switched and stood up so fast. And I was like, wait, like the vibe changed so fast. I think everyone was confused, and they were like, wait, like what's going on? Calm down. And I was like, I didn't see that coming at all. I don't know how it got that serious. But yeah, Jacques got really angry at that comment, and he stood up, and I think he wanted to go. At first, I wasn't sure if he was trying to go up to go confront Adam, or if he was going to confront Paige, but all I know is that he stood up to go and confront someone. Anyways, he goes to talk to Tasha and Billy, and he literally was like to Billy, he was like, Billy, F off. And I was thinking, what on earth is going on? It was so unprovoked. Like, Billy did nothing to him, and Billy didn't even say anything to defend himself. And the funny thing is, like, Billy is kind of like a cheeky, kind of like outspoken guy, and I feel like if that was anybody else, he would have said something. But the way I read the situation, I think Billy and Jacques have formed a friendship, and I think it's one of those things that Billy probably thought like he didn't want to make it worse, because it's as if they know that Jacques kind of has a temper. Even when he had told him to F up, he was telling him not to lose it. And I was thinking, he just was rude to you, and that's all you're going to say. So it looked like one of those things where he just didn't want to add fire to it, because I think that they can see how bad he can get when he's angry, and I think that's a red flag. The thing is, at the end of the day, there's like having a temper, sometimes it's hard to control, and I can't relate because I don't have a hot temper, but I know that people, when they have hot temper, they just switch from like 0 to 100. But that's the thing, is like when you have that kind of thing, you need to do work on yourself. Like, it's like Jacques needs, I feel like he wasn't even fit to enter the villa, like as in with himself, because he's not in control of his emotions. And you're coming on a show like Love Island, where emotions are gonna constantly run high. He needs to know how to compose himself. But anyways, Jacques was talking to Paige, and he was angry that Paige didn't tell him. And the thing is, I was even trying to understand where Jacques was coming from, because I like to see things in like different ways. So Jackson's point was that Adam was calling him immature and saying that he doesn't treat her right, blah, blah, blah. And Paige didn't tell him about it. So in his eyes, what she did, she kind of snaked him in his eyes. The thing is, if there was a situation where, let's say, they were like boyfriend and girlfriend, and someone was slagging like your boyfriend off, it's a different situation, because it's like, obviously you would want to tell someone you're with what has been said about them. But the way things have been between Paige and Jacques, because it's been so on and off, because it's been basically toxic, it's not even that kind of situation where she owes him any kind of explanation, or she even owes him loyalty, because they're not at that stage. And the reason they're not at that stage is because of him. So that's why Paige didn't feel the need to do that, because she knows how he gets when he's annoyed, and she just thought it was unnecessary. So obviously Jacques felt snaked, and he was taking it all out on her. Honestly, that conversation was so uncomfortable. Paige looked so shook. Like, I was like, this is just so unhealthy. And he defo was like really, really heated. And what I found so weird, he didn't even speak to Adam. Like, he literally went and took all that energy out on Paige and didn't even speak to the person who basically started it, which I thought was just crazy, because it's like, why did you feel like you can take it all out on Paige? You can't even confront the direct person. But anyways, Luca and Adam also, I will go back to Jacques later. Luca and Adam also have a chat, and Luca was like, oh, what did you say about when you were talking to Gemma? And Adam just repeated what he said. He said that he thought Luca was too protective, and obviously Luca didn't appreciate that comment, but he didn't lie. Luca is too protective. He's not only protective, he's possessive, and he's obsessed. Like, even he has said that he's too full on. So it's not news that he is a bit possessive towards Gemma. It's like something that we can see. So it's not like he was slagging Luca off. He was just saying it as it is. Anyways, Jacques and Paige have a chat again, and she tells him that he needs to get it together. She was like, oh, this is one of the things we talked about, and the first minute you came back and you showed yourself again. And so basically they had a conversation about his communication skills, and she must have said to him, like, you need to work on like controlling your emotions and controlling your anger, otherwise if you don't do it, it's going to be an issue. And then the first chance he gets, he doesn't abide to those things. So I think that's what they were referring to. And it's funny, because you remember yesterday Paige was saying that she's not the type of guy she doesn't want to have a guy that she has to train to be a boyfriend. That's what she was doing with Jacques. She was literally just trying to train him and tailor him to meet her standards, to be the person that she wanted. So she was training her boyfriend, basically. And saying things like, oh, you're too good for me, blah blah blah, which I think is, whenever people say things like, oh, you're too good for me, you don't deserve me, I always think that's such a red flag, because it's such a self-pity thing to say. And I feel like Jacques, actually, I really hope when he goes out there, I really hope he speaks to someone. And I'm not even trying to say this to be shady. I'm saying it as genuinely from a good way. He actually needs to seek therapy when he comes out, because people always say we only see 1 hour out 24 hours, which is true, but we saw a lot today. And from his body language, the way he was carrying himself, the way he acted, he literally looked like he wanted to explode. Like, he needs to find ways to better manage his temper, to improve his communication and how he talks to people. So I really hope for his sake that when he comes out on the outside, he actually seeks professional help with this thing, because it's an issue. Because imagine, we only see a little bit of this. So imagine all the other sides of his bad sides that we don't see. I'm sure there's a lot that gets cut out. Anyways, it's the morning, and everybody's awake. Jacques doesn't leave the bed. I think by this moment he had already made up his mind that he was leaving, because we saw from last night he left the bed and he went to like go stay alone, and he was just deep in life. So I think he had already made up his mind like he can't do that anymore. And Adam and Danica were having a chat, and Adam told the boys that his best chat was with Paige and Danica. So I guess we'll see where that goes. Jacques is still feeling bad for letting Paige down. He was saying to Luca, like, they had a conversation, and the first chance he got, he basically did everything. That's the thing, because you can't change for people. You have to change for yourself. So that conversation was not going to do anything. She told him what she didn't like about him, thinking he would change. That was never going to happen. Like, when someone wants to change, it has to be from within. If they're like, oh, I'm going to change for you, just know that it's not going to last very long, because it has to come from them and them alone. So obviously that was never going to happen. Anyways, Dami and Andrew made food for both Tash and India. I know everybody from yesterday were like, gushing over Dami and India because they ran to each other and whatnot. I generally did not find that cute. If anything, I thought it was very staged. What are the chances that India from the room is gonna run out to outside where Dami is asleep, and he also is going to wake up, and they're going to run to each other? It looks so staged. It looked like they used their phones that they have in there to text each other that they were going to do that. So everybody who thought it was spontaneous, that's not spontaneous. That was definitely staged. It just didn't make sense. I didn't think it was cute. I'm still not over the whole Dami thing. It's not just about what he did in Casa Amor. It's deeper than that. I just think that Dami is just a player, and I think he's playing a game, and I think he just wants to be in here. And I think he's doing a Tyler, guys. If you watched last year, Cousin Tyler, Dami is doing a Tyler, and I don't know if it's my mind is going to change, but at the moment I don't enjoy watching them anymore. And before anybody comes and says, oh, it's the same as David and Nika too, it's not at all. It's a very different situation. Anyways, I guess it's good for them. They made them pancakes and berries, and they were all eating happy days, blah blah blah, whatever. It was just boring. All the reconciliations is just boring. But I find the dynamic between Luca and Jacques so funny, because they're so close in there, but it's just hilarious because, like, let's say Gemma and Luca are gonna be together, his girlfriend, he's gonna be best friends with his girlfriend's ex, which is just mad. That's what I'm saying. Love Island is a crazy world, because the kind of situations you get thrown into, things that you would never do in the real life, you find yourself doing in there, because it's such a bubble. But yeah, I just find it interesting, this dynamic between both of them. But they are quite close, and to be fair, they're quite similar. So I get why they bounce off each other. And Paige has a chat with India. I think Paige is starting to realize that this is not good, and it's a red flag. She's telling India like she doesn't know how she feels about the whole thing, because he needs to work on his communication skills, because if it's like this here, it's going to be worse on the outside. And I'm glad that she realizes that whatever he's just playing here is going to be worse on the outside, because as time goes by, you're going to get to know someone more and more and see more sides of them. Anyways, he has a chat with her again, and he's crying. Everybody's crying. There's loads of tears. Long story short, he tells them that they're leaving. You know what? I'm glad that he's leaving for two reasons. Most importantly, I'm glad that he's leaving for him, because I think he's realized that he's not himself, like he said. And I feel like that villa, that environment wasn't great for him. And I think in situations like that, you have to always, at the end of the day, your mental health comes first, and that has to be, put in, like, that you have to hold it up. Like, it's more important than anything else. So I'm glad he's leaving for himself. But honestly, as a viewer, I'm also glad. I have not been enjoying watching Jacques for a long time. Yeah, it's just been given there's been red flags thrown. There's been so much toxicness that we've been seeing from Jacques. So I'm actually happy to not be watching him on my screen, and I'm happy that he chose himself. But yeah, it is what it is. Adam must feel so awkward, because he was like, is this my fault? And we're like, no, it's not your fault. And I was thinking, I mean, it's not his fault, but if you think about it, it is. If Adam was not in this villa, I'm pretty sure Jacques would still be here. So it wasn't his fault, but those seeds of doubts that he was planting, he planted 5 seeds of doubts. He planted seeds of doubt in Paige, Gemma, Tasha, Ekin, and Danica. Out of the 5 seeds that he planted, 1 has uprooted and harvested. And the first person is Paige, because her situation has blown just because of that comment that he dropped yesterday. So definitely is a little bit his fault, but I'm not mad at it. That's what he's a bombshell. He's meant to be doing something, and I don't think he wanted to like purposely make Jacques leave. If anything, he was just trying to get to know Paige. But what do you guys think? I have a feeling, I don't know why, I feel like Paige might also leave. She might do a Samira and leave with her man. I hope she doesn't. I hope she decides to, I hope she opens her eyes and realizes that she does deserve better. He's always telling her she deserves better. It's true. And if she can't see that, then it is what it is. She's on her own. But what do you guys think about the whole situation? I know some people will have mixed reviews about it. Are you guys happy that Jacques has left? Do you think he could have stayed? Do you think Paige is going to leave with him? Do you think Paige is now going to get to know Adam, or is she going to feel too guilty? I feel like Paige, even if she wanted to get to know Adam, I feel like she will still feel guilty about the whole Jacques thing, because he was like, oh, I'll be there to pick you up at the airport. So I think she will always feel guilty just because of the kind of person she seems to be. But let me know what you guys thought of today's episode. For me, it was all right. I felt like they dragged on the Jacques leaving a bit too long, not gonna lie. I feel like they could have wrapped that up in a good 15 minutes. I don't think it should have been dragged on as much as it has, but I guess it is what it is, and it is a big thing when an islander leaves, so they kind of have to give them their moment. But what do you guys think of today's episode? Let me know as always in the comment section. Thanks everyone for being so interactive and always commenting on my stuff. I love seeing you guys' thoughts on it. But let me know what you're thinking, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Bye.